Everybody, Jason Burmis here. We're about to talk about, that Trump video with me and Karma on the walk and talk. So let's talk. You've seen the meme. I've seen the meme. It's been viewed millions of times already. And the New York Times and everybody is up in arms over a video that is, again, it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be funny. It's obviously not real. To call it a fake video would be disingenuous, as anybody who can see that it's a meme video, right? Like, there's no deep faking. Don't get me wrong, it took some time to do. But in reality, what do we have? So I want to say this. I've never seen the movie series. There's two of them. It's, Her Majesty's Secret Service is the tagline, and it's based on a comic book. I believe that Samuel L. Jackson is in it, right? I'm not sure. Never seen the movies. But obviously the movie that depicts it has somebody killing a ton of people in a church. And again, I didn't hear any controversy about those films or the multitude of murder of churchgoers. And when you watch the video, it's funny, man. It's kind of funny. And by the way, I'm not trying to, hug Trump's nuts, but you got to admit, when you're getting stabbed in the back by Mitt Romney, and you're setting Bernie Sanders on fire, you can't help but take it as a joke. And instead, the media has created this false firestorm that somehow it's encouraging violence against the media on Trump's behalf. And I just don't buy into it, guys. I think there are a lot more important issues, Syria being one of them, a very real issue. And believe me, the media is trying to pull all stops there to demonize the withdrawal. But again, I've talked about this. Is it a withdrawal, or is it a repositioning of troops possibly nearer to the Gulf region of Iran, right? That's the real question to me. That's the big concern. That's what none of the media heads are talking about. You notice that, right? So they'll say, oh, he's abandoning the Turks. What do they want? Do they want more and more troops? Of course they do, because they're not questioning him on Iran either. They're saying the Iranian Revolutionary Guard are terrorists. They're saying that regime has to go. They barely challenged him on ending the nuclear deal, and many people didn't. By the way, 82 watching, 25 thumbs up. Let's see if we can double those thumbs. So again, if you haven't seen the video, it starts with Peter Fonda as what I would assume, it's on the face of a woman. And, I heard somebody say today that Trump is attacked first in the video. That's not true. As far as I've seen, it starts with a Hannity clip, and then you're in the Church of Fake News, and then he blows the head off at point blank range of Peter Fonda, who's like layered over a woman, and then chaos ensues. But again, the larger point to me is that when the movie came out, that this thing was, I heard nothing about, a mass church shooting. And you can bet that, especially after the Christ Church situation and the attacks on Jewish temples, there was one recently in Germany. We had the one out in New York not so long ago, that if there was a way to play this into a political gun-grabbing agenda, you would have heard that when this stuff first aired on those movies. But you didn't. But now, instead of being concerned about a mass shooting in a church or anything of that sort, what are they worried about? They're worried about violence against media because somebody made a funny meme. And that just shows you how twisted our political discourse is at this point, how twisted the media is at this point. Meanwhile, we have some real stories, some real scandals, and instead they're talking about impeach Trump, right? So I guess this would be a good moment to kind of segue into the Project Veritas dumps at CNNexposed.com. CNNexposed.com, I believe, is the website. Now, I've only seen a few of these. I haven't seen all of them. I would assume we're going to be getting them in drips and drops over the next few days and weeks, right? But it should be a scandal that the main guy who's directing all the news is just pushing impeachment, despite the fact there's nothing there. And one of the narratives that I think is a false one that they kind of are self-believing at CNN, is somehow they created Trump. No, or that they helped promote Trump for ratings, right? Because he was a ratings grabber. But the bottom line is, whether they had promoted him or not, there was a silent majority that was going to get behind Trump. I've discussed this. You know, I did a 35K AMA. We hit 35,000. Thank you for that. And somebody mentioned Q and how without Q, Trump would have never become president. I just said, no, that's a false narrative, just like it's a false narrative that CNN somehow created him. All right, I'm not saying that those type of pushes and posts and all that other stuff, the memeing, etc., didn't help. But to me, there was a sect of the population that was poised to vote for Donald Trump since the 1980s, when you saw him on television shows like Donahue and Oprah Winfrey all the time, and he was covered by 2020 and Dateline and the few channels that were out there. And another thing he was very good at doing early on in his career was pushing himself with professional wrestling. And if anybody knows anything about professional wrestling, you'll know that the narratives in professional wrestling, Karma, they're predetermined. So it's kind of like acting. And they have a massive, massive, massive audience. The WWF, now the WWE, was one of those phenomena that really went beyond political values and into its own type of culture. So, in my opinion, just based on that alone, you had a lot of people that had never voted, couldn't give a damn about politics, wouldn't identify as a Republican or a Democrat if you put a gun to their head, show up to the voting booths for Trump just for that reason alone. And yes, did he gain millions and millions and millions of fans through things? No, come on, Carmen. Through things such as The Apprentice? Yes, of course he did. You know, it was reality television. And again, reality television is so far removed from reality that I can't even understand why we call it that, other than the fact that the majority of those that participate are not in the entertainment world. But that's changed, you know, and that changed right from the beginning, right? You saw all those like special houses with Vanilla Ice, and you know, he was in there with porn stars, et cetera, et cetera. So you know, reality TV is just about as real as watching a episode of Fraggle Rock. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Are we in the wood line here, Karma? Okay, good girl. Oh, so let's talk about what else we're going to talk about today. I'm going to be having John Fitch on. We do the weekly Mixed Martial Mindset broadcast for an hour over at my channel. We're going to be recapping both the UFC and Bellator and the boxing matches that went on. We're also going to be talking about the Conor McGregor controversy that nobody in the United States is talking about. The fact that on Friday, he has been alleged to have taken part in another sexual assault. Now, this one takes place pretty early at 9 p.m. I do not know the details. I'm going to look and see if any more details have come out today. I don't know the severity of this one, okay? I do know it is 100% Conor McGregor, and it's not being reported in the States yet again. Nowhere. And it would be very easy to report in the States, as the foreign media is admitting that it is the same Irish sports star that has been alleged to be involved in what I want to call the brutal beating, rape, sodomy of a 20-year-old in front of people that was so bad that she was beaten and bruised and had to have a tampon surgically removed from her cervix. I've said it before. I will say it again. I will cover this story ad nauseum, because I never want to see that motherfucker in a cage again. The only cage he deserves to be in is in a prison cell. And that's the bottom line. He is not a hero. He is beyond a zero. Anybody that would do that to another human being is repulsive and disgusting. And by the way, just so you know, if you read those articles aside from what I just said, which is 100% on the money, go watch my video on it yesterday, or tune into Mixed Martial Mindset tonight. He was already under investigation prior to that for a separate sexual assault. So now we have a third one? We have a third one out in Dublin? Out in Ireland? I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Can we get past the fanboy bullshit and talk about the real issue of how some people are protected in this society? You know, I talk about the fact that he's worth a lot of money to a lot of people. He's worth a lot of money to ESPN, aka Disney. He's worth a lot of money to WME Entertainment and the UFC. He's worth a lot of money to Ari Emanuel and Dana White. So they will continue to cover it up, obfuscate, and use what is called PR. PR, that's what this is. It's all PR. And PR, public relations, is really just another term for served up bullshit. That's the truth. So guys, Karma's doing extremely well. We're past 2 months, baby. We're actually 3 days away from 9 weeks. Remember, she got the terminal osteosarcoma diagnosis, where they told me she had 2 weeks to 2 months max to live. They gave me the dope meds. They told me to call them in a week, probably set up. Sorry about that, guys. I hate it when that happens. Get a phone call and there you go. I didn't answer. Don't worry. So once again, it's been now over 8 weeks. They told me to call him in a week, pretty much to probably schedule her put down. I did not do that, and I took her off the dope meds within 2 days. She is on the Joe Tippins protocol. What is that, you ask? Well, go to mycancerstory.rocks, and you will find out that it's nothing more than fenbenzidol, which is a dog dewormer, okay? A little bit of the high-grade CBD, some turmeric curcumin, and vitamin E. And I'm telling you what, guys, you can say what you want. I don't think she's going to be gone in a week. I don't think she's going to be gone in a month. If I get 6 months to a year out of her, I mean, she was a 12-and-a-half-year-old dog. If we get to celebrate her 13th birthday, I'll be so happy. And I already am so happy because she hasn't been in pain. And I mean, you can see it, guys. She's doing great. She loves to go on these walks. She's bothering me for 2 of them a day when she couldn't even get out of the couch. So look, don't take my word for it. 167 watching. Thumbs it up, guys. We only got 64. Check it out for yourself. You know, go watch Joe Tippins' story and go check out his website. With that being said, I love you guys. Make sure you're subscribed, thumbs the video up, share it, and I'll see you on the flip.